Well, I didn't film too much. It's about 75 degrees today. It's awesome. We got a big cold front coming though, getting down to the last few good cold snaps. Kind of walking my perimeter here on this 20-acre piece that I'm really trying to promote the most that we can out of it. To be honest, kind of crazy for not taking a deer out of here this year because I had some really good ones, and that's really without food. I'm just out here today doing some switchgrass screening, planting some RC Big Rock frost seeding. So don't really have to with these newer varieties, but I'll tell you what, I just have had good luck with it in the past. And this, this native grass out here is kind of struggling, and it's been hayed, so I'm going to possibly convert some of it into alfalfa. There's no food down here, but basically this is kind of along the road here. Ended up making a nice, couple path swath. That's where I started with the screening, and so that's more of a roadside screening, because eventually, planning on getting some stuff planted up here and some of the flats. But just a beautiful day, get out and enjoy it. Don't have a ton of timber, but I'll tell you what, we got the perfect amount of thick cover. Got some great dogwood thickets. I'm kind of separating between kind of burn blocks and manage it with fire like we've been talking about. But some really good looking up and comer bucks, and also a couple old jokers that aren't great for genetics, but in some country here that I think we'll start drawing them as soon as I get some food going. Back in the cut that I did last year, see that bed just imprinted perfect right where I cut these cedars, but there's so much more of that in here. I could spend a couple days or several tanks of fuel in here. Man, shed hunting's fun, but it gets you thinking more about what the work you need to do. Another one right here, I didn't even do the detail work. I got a bunch of sticks and limbs here, but look at this. Right back on kind of about 40 yards off the field edge, and just a perfect little flat spot. I just didn't come back and do the detail, but always good to see your work is actually coming through. Another spot I'm assessing where I got some sunlight now, hitting the ground, see some different stuff coming up. But look at all the browse coming off these little hinge. There's some smaller hackberries I hinge, but man, they're getting browse like crazy where that fresh new growth is coming. Big old clump scat. That's what you like to see right there. In the spot that I call the tunnel, I've had some clearing projects and stuff I did in here. If you remember that buck I shot a couple years ago right out here, I'm actually trying to, because it's a good mix of light, and cattle run this too, so it's not a big deal. But I'm gonna actually go ahead and frost feed through some of these lanes. All right, got a beautiful sunrise coming up. Kind of looking a little bit dead this time of year, but kind of working on some access trails here. So got a little gap here that I'm trying to kind of fill it. It used to be an old access, so getting switchgrass into it. Got a little bit of mineral putting out as well, but you can see the old bean where I had beans, and gonna put some switch right through all of that. Kind of edge feather this plot a little bit, make it a little bit more narrow. Got a little shed dog action, but I'm gonna try to get her out of here. We've got some bucks holding still. It's the 28th of February today. Well, I'd much rather be shed hunting. It's pretty nice out today, but Molly's out shed hunting for me while I get this stuff mixed up. I'm actually just blending a couple of these together, some reds and whites, but top dressing a lot of existing plots. But It's just a good way I can actually mix them together and kind of use the extra bag for quantities and making sure you don't rip through too much. But using a small cedar is key here, and then just knowing your rate and getting that covered. But clover, I've found you can actually go a little bit heavy, especially frost seeding like this, and you're quite all right. It fills in pretty good. It takes that browse pressure pretty well. I'm in here checking out some clover plots, and sure enough, got tree damage. So see, critters are just tough on this stuff. You gotta constantly stay on it, make sure they're protected. Out here spreading some switchgrass, checking stuff out. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do some maintenance here. Found a T-post that I had laying around. Got materials kind of scattered everywhere just to do this kind of thing. But had some cattle in here that we've fixed that issue, and I think that's what some of it was early on. But always something. So this is kind of a look at a open piece that we just cleared cedars out of. Got quite a bit of black locust coming up in here, which isn't a terrible thing, to be honest. It's really good. You know, it's an understory type tree, so we got to kind of keep it contained, but you know, good wood value. But I'm trying to get kind of a diverse bedding, so I've put an X pattern. You can kind of see where I've killed the vegetation here. I had one strip that I just went down, and I've pulled a bunch of cedars and made kind of some cedar bedding walls out here. But there's another lane right there, so I basically have an X up here. And if you look right here, this is where I drug them cedars, and you're getting a little bit more of that black locust coming up, which is fine. But I'm actually putting switchgrass in here. We're gonna have it right around this bedding, be kind of managed by fire. But you can see just in really 3 years post cedar removal, starting to get some good grass mixed in there, native grasses, and then I'm gonna have this switch mixed in, and then probably do some other diverse plantings out in the warm season. But boy, it's coming together. I'm really liking the deer using these areas that I kind of sprayed. I sprayed them, kept them killed all last summer, and there's deer trail just basically coming right up out of it. Well, second day here, doing some switchgrass screening. Had a couple years of prep on some of these breaks, but this is more of an access spot. You can see I'm coming off of kind of a high ridge here, but we'll have some screening, be able to kind of use basically an edge here that I've cleared out and gives us an access around, and to be able to hunt the heart of some really good timber here. So obviously got to manage the cedars and some of this grassland, but I'm also going to be putting some diverse mix in here too. So you can see where that dead line is, right where the switch is going to be going. It's going to be perfect.